Advertising plays a huge factor in our perception of alcohol. If you are questioning your relationship to alcohol, if it feels so hard, this is why. And the thing is that all of us have bought into it, and that includes our best friends, our moms, our dads, our brothers, our sisters, our grandparents, our teachers, everybody. So this idea of giving up alcohol feels very hard because we're all in on this advertising program, basically. And that's what I want to talk about today. So I used to run an advertising agency. Literally, I was running it for 6 years. The whole point of advertising is to tap into our subconscious. I talk about this programming that we're in all the time, right? This program that I broke out of once I decided to stop drinking, and it took me about a year to actually see it. What I'm talking about is a non-malicious program that we're a part of, where essentially we are inundated with advertisements, and the people around us are inundated with advertisements to believe that alcohol is actually going to bring us a better life, because those companies who sell those drinks want us to buy their product because they want to sell product. There's 4 steps to how advertising actually work, and how they get one person from never seeing a product to actually buying their product and becoming a lifetime consumer of that product and that brand. The first step is actually building familiarity. So with alcohol companies, for example, let's say there's a brand new company that they've never been on the market before. What they have to do is get people to be familiar with their brand and their product, period. That's the first step. So to do that, that company is going to put advertisements everywhere they can to get people like me, to get people like you to actually see the brand, to see the product as often as possible, to build familiarity. The typical amount of times in the industry people say that it gets people to start even being familiar with the brand is 7 to 10 times at minimum. To get from familiarity to stage 2, where the person is actually building comfortability with the product, that is a process of showing even more ads to the clients. So comfortability does not mean that the person's ready to buy. That just means that they're more comfortable with the brand, with the product, because they've seen it enough times. It's kind of like when you go to a new gym or something, or a new job. You're kind of familiar with people the first few times, and then about the 7th or 10th time you go, now you're comfortable with it. It's the same thing with advertising. It's building that comfortability. The third stage is engagement with their brand to the consumers. And that takes time after going through stage 1 and stage 2. Engagement means maybe you've seen an alcohol ad, I don't know, enough times. Maybe it's been 50 times, right? And now at the 50th time, you're actually going to start engaging with that product, meaning you're going to pick it up in the store when you see it, or you're actually going to acknowledge it. Basically, you're going to say, yeah, that actually looks like a good thing. I'd like to try that. That's engagement. So it's still stage 3. The person still hasn't even bought the product yet. Stage 4 is where the consumer is actually now adopting the brand. So that means in their psyche, it's been tapped enough times by seeing these advertisements that they subconsciously go to a store and they see that logo and that brand and that tagline and those colors, and they feel like that's the product they want to buy, because subconsciously they are familiar with the product, they are comfortable with the product, they feel like they've engaged with the product, so they know what they're going to get for the most part, and they're ready to buy. And that's when the sale actually happens. That is stage 4. It could take 100 times to get to that. It could take 50 times to get to that final point. It could take 20 times. So if you are selling an alcohol product, your job is first and foremost to get people to see the shit. See it everywhere they go, and make sure that people like it and it resonates with them. And so when I'm talking about this, I'm wanting to share just basically how our subconscious works. It's not that we all grew up thinking that alcohol was the key to fun, that it needed to be there for every event, that it was, responsible for our connections and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think any of us consciously think that either. It's not something that we're consciously yeah, that's the answer. Alcohol needs to be there for all this for me to have a good life. No one's thinking that. But for me, when I was considering a lifestyle of not drinking, subconsciously, I did not want to stop. Number 1, because it's fun as shit to drink. It is. It's fun. I'm not going to be this person who thinks that alcohol isn't fun to drink. But then once it becomes problematic, or if it does, the thing is, we don't want to give up that fun, but we also subconsciously feel like all of those fears that we have will come true, that we won't have as much fun, that life will be more boring, that we won't, have as many friends or connections, or all that kind of stuff. That's a subconscious plug in our brains because of all of the advertising that we've seen. You see ads for having drinks at the beach with friends. You see like margarita night and all that kind of stuff. You see wine dates with your friends, going to the bar with your guys to hang out and, you know, have some drinks at the bar. Advertising companies capitalize on those activities and then advertise that to us so that subconsciously we believe that alcohol, their brand of alcohol, should be present at those events because that's what will get us to buy that brand. You see what I'm saying? So the more connotation, the more positive connotation we have for a brand to an event, the more likely we are to put the two together. So if you say, find your beach, then, and you see an ad for the beer on the beach, you're gonna think, man, I would really like to have this beer right here, right now. For people that are considering a lifestyle of not drinking, understand that that is there because of the subconscious plug for all of the advertising, billions of dollars that are spent on getting us to want to buy product. So this really is how advertising works. If you get somebody younger, let's say in their teens, and a brand gets them early on, you get what's called a lifetime consumer of that brand. Kids are not legally allowed to be advertised to for alcohol, but they still see 2 to 4 ads a day, which is a lot because it's like 7 to 10 basically will start to get you more familiar. 7 to 10 at any point in time. So 2 to 4 ads a day is a shitload. Whatever. If you are questioning your relationship to alcohol, if it feels so hard, this is why. So all we have to do is start to break down those subconscious patterns that we have toward alcohol and the things that alcohol has been paired with, the good time and alcohol. We just have to start seeing that it's really just a sell product and that's it, and start recognizing that, like, no, we can do these things without alcohol. It just feels like we can't because subconsciously our brains have been tapped because of all this advertising that's going on. It's wild, and it's everywhere. So I talk about breaking this programming all the time because I didn't see this world until about a year after I decided to stop drinking and got space from it. And now that I see it and I can do everything I used to do, but I can do more of it because I have more stamina, I realized that it really was just a system and a program that I was caught in the middle of. And once I stepped away from it and got space from it and broke out of it basically and had kind of clear eyes, then I was able to actually live my life the best way for me. That's just for me. So everybody's thing is their own. 99% to 100% of my family and my friends still do drink. And if they have a healthy, happy lifestyle with it, if anybody does, like, live that life. It's the same thing with like pot. Like if you've got a good relationship with pot, like, and you like smoking weed, like smoke the freaking weed, smoke the green, like that's good, you know, do your thing. I create this content because I believe that it has changed my life to stop drinking, and I'm compelled to share that with people because it's been so profound. So if you guys do like this video, please like it. If you are adjusting or considering your lifestyle with alcohol, go ahead and subscribe below. I talk about this stuff all the time. And if you have any comments or any questions, go ahead and drop them down below. We would love to see it. Thank you guys. I look forward to next time. See ya.